First of all, fuck the algorithm. Fuck the algorithm. I wrote this poem, this beautiful poem, a couple months ago at 3 a.m. And I know how much art, how much spirit, how much mind, how much divinity went into the poem. But because of the fact the algorithm only permits 2 minutes, 3 minutes, so we can spread the video and yada yada yada, short attention spans and everything, I've had to cut it short. I've had to aestheticalize it and all, just so I can do justice to their demands, its demands. But fuck it, man. I'm gonna read the entire thing. And for those of you who have an artistic ear, who can see how much, how so much that I've hidden, even as plain as these words are, I've hidden so much in the words. If you have an artistic ear, you would know that this story does not end here. There's so much hidden behind even the plain words. So if you fuck with it, share it. You know what I mean? And while I was up at 3 a.m., I was listening to this song, a very nostalgic song. I didn't listen to the song in a long time. When I listen to songs I haven't listened to in a minute, the nostalgia in the songs, there's something up in my spirit, in my mind, and I start to conjure stories and histories and experiences from hundreds and thousands of years ago. And it's so divine in its form, do you know what I mean? And I wanted to share it with you. And I've titled it Men of Earth. This is what we have created. So I'm going to read it now. Men of Earth, this is what we wanted. This is what we have created. Let us sit in awe of the works of our hands. Thousands of years ago, we had judges, men and women alike. The women were muses, some strategists, some warriors. The men were warriors, few muses, few strategists. We had elders also, men and women alike. They were all muses, they were all strategists. The Bible somehow only featured a few women, probably one woman, Deborah and the likes, but we had judges, distributed across every corner of the known civilization. They were elected by the people. The people gave power to the words of their lips. The people took power away from the words of their lips. The people respected the words of their lips. Power was not condensed into one physical entity, it was shared. Judges and elders called judges and elders to caution in front of the people. Judges and elders called people to caution in front of the people. The people called judges and elders to caution in front of the people. Until one day, one accursed day, out of the people, men rose, and with them their blind and loving wives and lovers, and they demanded a king. They had observed alien cultures and they wanted to embody them. These women knew they shouldn't have stood with these men, but they were too attached, too invested to let the woman shine through them. So from the people, men and women came and they said to their elders, "We want a king." And in that moment, the voice of the woman whispered, "You want a king?" they said. She said. And they said, "Yes, we want a king." There were whys and there were answers. There were questions and there were answers, back and forth. And the woman said this: "If you choose to take power from the people and bestow it upon a man, then you must be prepared to do the following. When you go to till the soil and the water drips down your head, remember that 10% of whatever comes during harvest will be taken to your king. You will take this to your king, you will take this to him with a smile on your face. You will sing him praises and you will dance. And he will choose to accept these with gratitude or not. But this will be your tax to him and his reign. When you bear sons and you smile from ear to ear, remember that from your household you will give away some of your sons and they will dedicate their beings to the king and his command. When you bear daughters and you smile from ear to ear, remember that your daughters belong to themselves only as long as the king does not have a personal liking for them. And if he does, remember that these sons of yours will go into their own homes. Take these daughters, these sisters from your hands while you cry. Stare you dead in the eye and not feel a thing. for it is at the behest of their new sire. Remember, when you have an opinion, that if for some reason it doesn't align with that of the king, you will bury it, even if it buries you. Remember these words. Remember these words, the old woman said. At this point, the women stood with their lovers. The women who stood with their lovers started to shiver. They knew. They looked around and they saw their fellow women staring down at them in shame and disbelief, with disgust, with eyes of disdain. But they were too far gone, drilled in too deep. They all replied, "We understand," to the woman. And that was it. The woman asked the judges to step down from their seats and asked the people to look for their king. They searched far and wide and they found their first king, and he was appointed. He was beautiful, he was gracious, he had the heart of the old woman. And his son after him, and his son after him, and his son after him, and the cycle continued. Yes, some men had no sons, and daughters sprung up, many of them masculine, few of them feminine, but it all fell back into the hands of the man. Slowly, these kings, these men, stopped finding value in the collective joy. Instead, they sought to please their basest desires. So they summoned their boys and asked them to capture lands and plunder, so they could brag about ephemeral things. Slowly, the woman started to lose value in this newfound society, in this newfound consciousness. They used to be an integral part, but with kings and emperors, soldiers and guards being the new order of the day, their biology betrayed them, and they were all cast down to the feet of the transformed man. Their purpose slowly became that of service to the men, their religions and their legions. For without women, neither their failures, their religions, their ideas, their wealth, nor their legacy could be propagated. Women are the reasons why men live forever. These men knew how important they were, and they hid it from them. Beautifully, I might add, masterfully, duplicitously. Surely there were women in wars and armies, but they were few. Few were still those who didn't give up their femininity. Women started to fight themselves for the male gaze, and in that moment they had truly lost everything. Drunken kings, egotistical emperors and broken beings carried on with their wars. They started wars and they fought wars. They sacrificed sons and people's taxes. Some kings went to war as a show of honor and strength. Most watched and instructed, and yet took all the glory. All of it was meaningless. People ruled by men, ruling men, counseled by other men. It couldn't be worse. War after war, the worse it got, the tighter it got. The people who were advised to joyously give their 10% were now forcefully taxed for 10 more. 1% of it was used to develop. Everything else went to their wars. Chess on land was their demand. A moment came when their atrocities could no longer be hidden, when their abominations could no longer be buried. So from amongst men came men, groomed by men, to caution the actions of men. Poets who had the tongue of the old woman. They were groomed to write books and stories, men's stories, his story, history. There was no space for her story, even though she and her children are the ones who experience firsthand the effects of these abominations, these treacheries. And well, evident enough they named it history. For in a war, the victor writes the story, and the descendants of both loser and victor read about the victor. The women and children were the losers, and the women had lost a long time ago. Not only did they fabricate stories, but they fabricated beings too, not of clay, but of spells. Words. They knew the magic in the words and they used it to cast many spells. Beings were given life. Some took praise, glory and light. Some took blame, shame and darkness. All this so they could absolve themselves of their own actions. In the series Wheel of Time, they say that when a man touches the divine, when a man touches power, he runs mad, that he cannot take it, that it eats him up. Well, most of it is true, but there's a way out. Stay tuned for part 2. And so here we are, thousands of years into the future, living this reality, this cruel reality. Men of Earth, remember when we said we wanted a king. Let us take accountability for the works of our own hands. Novena.